before the jumps, when we had up to 40 people jumping off in one single shot, what everyone thinks is, oh, we had this ship and there was all this water and it was deep water. Actually, there was only a small area that people could actually jump. For most of the tank is only 3 foot deep. And we had a trough area that went out 20 feet from the side of the ship.
And background and action!
We had either dummies floating in the water with their life jackets on, or we had deck chairs made of rubber, so people knew where they could jump. It was very important that when someone jumped, that wasn't the end of the shot. They needed to sort of swim to safety so the next person could jump and there was no risk of anyone landing on top of anyone else.
Let's hear it for the stunt team, folks. Let's hear it for stunts.
We're currently on the poop deck of the Titanic, and it's a section that's been made that can actually lift to 90 degrees. And so what we've got, 150 extras and 80 to 90 stunt people that we're just rehearsing on this section, just so we can get it to look very realistic. The idea is to create the illusion of danger, but having it safe.
There was a lot of safety parameters that went into it. They all had to be cabled, obviously. I had to make sure that everyone was wearing protective pads.
The worst thing that can happen here is that people are going to land on top of each other, so we've all got to be prepared and know exactly where everyone's intending to go before we start.
We put human-shaped dummies that were completely foam around certain objects that couldn't be made of rubber. Some of the stunt performers would carry these dummies down with them. We made a lot of things in the end out of rubber, or coated things in rubber or foam, so that people could actually hit things and bounce off. We did most of the tumbling down the deck at 25 degrees. That's where the stunt performers could still control to a degree where they went, and they wouldn't get really hard impact. The section that we were shooting over was over 400 feet long, and we basically had to get people from one end to the other end and make it look as though they were sliding very fast. And the ship was only at 6 degrees. We had to make it look as though people were at a 45-degree angle and sliding down the deck. And we had people on cables, weighted cables, and we'd made these very, very small like sleds or sledges with very small casters on. Once the cable pulled you, and it would pull you very, very fast, it would release. We'd had a release mechanism built into it. But then you could actually spin 360 degrees. It actually worked very well.
We designed some really challenging and memorable shots to sell the height of the ocean liner standing on its end, its stern hundreds of feet in the air. Everybody on the show called this signature tilting shot the toilet paper shot. Why? Because we used a roll of toilet paper on the set to give the cameraman a reference of where a falling digital stuntman would be added later. We then turned the footage over to Digital Domain to track and add the rest of the elements to the shot.
I'm Judith Crowe, and I'm one of the supervisors on Titanic, and this shot here you're seeing the result of a three-dimensional track of the plate so that we can work out the camera move and pass that to other animators to put in stars and ocean and a set extension to extend the ship further into the image. And there's actually a toilet roll dropping through shot which would be replaced by a CG falling body, and a very dramatic shot tilting all the way down from the tip of the stern of the ship all the way down to the ocean.
The final moments of the sinking were achieved through a combination of both old-school visual effects methods and new digital techniques that were groundbreaking at the time. We built a quarter-scale miniature of the stern and poop deck, then shot it with a high-speed camera as it was lowered into a tank. This gave us our main background with the necessary water interaction. We then added digital extras reacting to the rising ocean with mats for when they would disappear beneath the churning water. We also added digital mist elements to blend the digital extras into the miniature shot. Finally, we shot a green screen element of our actors on a full-scale section of the railing and composited it all together and even added a digital camera shake. We shot Kate and Leo and various stunt extras in front of an underwater green screen, which was set up in a small tank in Rosarito at the very end of production. We then combined these elements with a miniature ship element, as well as various bubble passes, both real and computer-generated. The idea of putting the stern of the ship in the background of the shot came late in the editing process, but really helped sell the scale of the event. Due to delays in building the outdoor set, we ended up shooting the ending scenes of the movie with Jack and Rose in the water very early in the schedule in a 4-foot-deep indoor tank with an artificial horizon.
Once you get in there, we'll try some stuff, you'll start to get comfortable with it, then we can become a little more animated. The other thing is, conserve your energy, don't go crazy on the first 2 takes.
Background! Fight for your life!
The performers were forced to crouch down to create an illusion that the tank was deeper than the 4 feet that it actually was.
4, 3, 2, 1,
That's scary.
We're volunteer guinea pigs. We've duplicated what the extras will be wearing, and we're trying to determine what's a safe period of time for them to be in the water. We're asking the people to do it, so I thought if I couldn't do it, why would I ask anyone else to?
We determined from this test that our extras could safely spend several hours at a stretch in our unheated outdoor tank.
The tank was very cold. If you're going to be in a tank for 11 hours, it's not so nice.
We provided warm water hoses and hot tubs to help the extras stay comfortable. The extras were so dedicated. They were such troopers, even when playing dead.
Great job, everybody. This background is the best in the world. Thank you.
Let's hear it for yourself.
Cheers for everybody. You're great.
The dead makeup was amazing. I did get my hair done up with wax in it. After that, they put spirit gum with these little crystals of gelatin that were very hard when they first were applied. But as soon as they were sprayed with mist or got wet, they expanded. And so you had all this gelatin-like stuff on your face.
I like that one. What's that feel?
It was not an attractive look.
Ken Marshall's paintings were amazing. I mean, they were the Bible for Jim. One of Ken's beautiful paintings is the Carpathia and the lifeboats going towards it. So the job was to recreate that shot.
The lifeboat sequence with the Carpathia was the only time we went on the open water for any of the period filming.
You don't realize how difficult it is to do something in the actual real ocean until you go there and do it.
Ready and ride!
Just to row a lifeboat next to each other in the open ocean, and not only 2 but 3 or 4, and you realize this is what it was like for the people in the lifeboat right after the Titanic sank, just drifting in the ocean.